Delegates, 7 minutes and 46 seconds before we hammer the gavel and we'll start our election process. Any one of those two, but you can stand right here. I love you, bro. Sure. Oh, thank you. Good morning, Greg. How you doing? Good.
I hope so too. I hope so. I'm going to try to put that on the calendar today. I'm good for him. I have
Well, it should be on the screen when you change it, but now actual resolution says it will be printed and given out. It should. We'll put them in the book. Appreciate it. Thank you. You got one. You need every one. Oh, no, not this time. Yeah. Illegal. Delegates, start taking your seat, please. Good morning. I'm going to have, it's probably probably close to like 10 minutes from now. Get them in. Good morning. I think you need to. Hey, that's up to you. I just got to tell them because I was waiting for you to let me know.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to go observe because I didn't want to force it. I just thought it was a good thing.
I don't want them pissed off. Whoever your chair is.
Well, now I'll tell her because I think it was. I didn't check with the board. I just wanted to get somebody I know that.
I don't have a problem doing it.
Would be, that would be impartial. That makes sure whatever way it went, it can be done right. Just observe. So that'd be good.
Okay. I don't have a problem doing it. I'll just let me.
All right. When the road come up and the ballot committee they put all their ballots in there, I will have told her and Richie that I want you to be another impartial observer. I have 3 people that's looking over. Rose, Richie and McGrath. Those are chair, vice chair, and an assistant to the vice chair.
Yep.
You oversee everything.
Okay.
Whatever you see, whatever you say, you're the governor. Okay?
Oh, well, I'm not going to interfere unless I...
No, unless you see something.
Well, yeah.
You know, that's up to you.
Okay.
Okay. But that's okay.
I see it. Okay. I see. Okay, we have to go to that. Prayers for Bill Olson.
They didn't want ice cream or not?
What's the flavor of the day?
Huh?
Somebody thought they bring up here.
Yep, she's responsible. I gotta give her all the credit.
I don't see anybody in the
I tell anybody, I'm always above board. I don't want cheap, steal, or do anything. Mine table me more than any instruction. You know? That's important to me. Well, that's important to me. It's more important for me to keep that than win. Yep.
And thank you for having me here.
One minute. Huh?
Too late now.
When it gets to 10, do that. Okay. Delegates start. Please get your seats. It's very important for you to have your ID, your badge and your credentials today. Make sure you have them readily accessible. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get the show on the road. Good morning, delegates. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. Kevin Traer, NAP's Michiana Area Vice President, for the invocation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Isn't it a beautiful day that the Lord has provided for us again today? Thank you, San Diego, for the hospitality. It's been fantastic here. My family and I have enjoyed our time in San Diego. And I just want to digress for a brief moment before I start the business that I was brought up here for. And there's a cost for everything. There's a cost for this convention. There's a cost for being here. But I'm going to tell you one thing, fellow delegates, that's free, and that is salvation. Salvation. So if you believe in that, please bow your heads and go to the Lord in prayer with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us here with traveling mercies, and we ask that you return us the same way. We ask that you lift up the fellow soldiers that are protecting us so this can be the land of the free because of the brave. And Father, I don't know how lucky I am that you sent your only begotten Son to die on the cross so I could have everlasting life if I believed and had a faithful heart in your word. We ask all these blessings that you bestow on us in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Kevin. Do we have a SPAC update? Okay, we'll work it in. I'd like to recognize Ms. Rosemary Harmon for the final report of the Credentials and Registration Committee.
Good morning, NAPS family. I'm going to start off with reading the numbers for you. Final report, 8/29/2014. Executive Board, 23 in attendance. Possible votes, 24 in attendance. Possible votes, 23. Branches, delegates attending, 1159. Branches represented, 253. Possible branch votes, 2585. Total possible votes, branches and executive board, 2608. Total registered in attendance, NAPS delegates, auxiliary, and guest, 1302. This is the reading of the final report from registration and credentials. Now I got that over with, so now it's my time to talk, which I usually wait till this time. I want to thank the body, the NAPS family, my brothers and sisters for allowing me once again that I am so honored to do this job. I love this organization. I love the members. And for me, it's a thrill. I get into this. It charges me for whatever I need to do when I go home. So to all of you, thank you very much. Mr. President, wherever you might be, Louis, thank you again for allowing me to do this. Jay, for your support for the last 2 years to get ready for this, thank you very, very much. Brian and I have got to know each other really, really well in the last 2 years. He has worked for you and for our committee very, very hard. You'll never know how many hours he really put in to learning what this committee does, what it needed for this convention. And to you I say, thank you very, very much. You made my life very easy this week. Now, I do have to add a little bit because after I got to know Brian and he got to know me and he got more comfortable with me, I got to pick on him. And I would do things like hide his ink pens and whatever and just watch him go into whatever. But I heard something yesterday I do have to ask you about. Action figure. That one I've never heard that, but Energizer Bunny, I do know he is, all right? Coffee and ice cream, but action figure?
My battery's a little low right now.
I'm not going to forget this one. Registration committee, any of you in the hall, we need you up front. Would you take the time to move up here, please? All of you. All 26 of you, wherever you might be, start moving.
4 extras.
I also need Bill Matthews, Michelle Harrison, and Doris. Would you please join us? You know, I was heard that in order to make anything work, it takes a village. Well, in this case, takes family. Again, a NAPS family. And when we put our committees together, when Louis does, we've got one. We've got what we like to call seasoned, not old-timers, but seasoned. They know the job. And then we get first-timers, but by the end of the week, they are no longer first-timers. They've been on the committee. Some come and go. They come by and say hi. See one right there. But they never really leave us. And then we have 4 individuals who are not on the committee, but they come in early. They give of their time and their energy to help. And they are Michelle. Michelle, where are you? Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Bill Matthews. Raise your hand. Doris Palmer. And Harrison Rankin. And I would like for you to give all of them a round of applause. In order to keep me focused and get me where I need to be on Friday and make sure everything runs good, I've got other individuals that do that. Myrna.
Down there. Raise your hand, Myrna.
Without this young lady, I'm not sure where we would be by Friday, because she does a lot of the credentials with the little bit of pieces of paper and gets them ready for me to do what Roy and I need to do. Then we also have Paulie. Where's and Richie, who come in, and they keep me focused as well. They're like brothers now. Got to know them very well. And they like to pick on me, and I pick back. So that's two of the three musketeers. The other individual that I really need to thank would be this one. I'm not sure how he keeps coming back and putting up with me, but he does, and I love him. We have become very good friends. We joke together. We eat together. There are times when we shed tears together, and we work extremely well together. I keep him straight, and he definitely keeps me straight. So to you, my friend, God bless you. Thank you. If I missed anybody that I should have said something to, I'm really sorry. I'm starting to get a little nervous. SPAC, we have collected $13,000. Now, I know this may be a little late to do this, but I do remember, I believe it was Orlando, when we collected $40,000. So there is a table in the back. They've got really nice gifts. And I know there are 2 Pandora bracelets back there. They're valued at $1,000 each. Now, guys, $20 for a ticket. If you win that bracelet, take it home. Whoever is just going to think you're the most amazing individual ever. It's going to a good cause. Get a ticket before tonight, please. Now I get to turn it over to my buddy, so Roy Madden.
Good morning. I'm going to read the names of the members of our committee, and I'd appreciate if they'd raise their hand as I call their name. And again, I'm going to start with the folks that volunteered. They didn't have to be with us, but they were. Bill Matthews, Harrison Rankin, Doris Palmer, and Michelle Pajinski. Now I'm going to give you the members that were on the board and helped us out with this committee, and we needed the help by every means this time. Dorothy Billups, Branch 531, Maryland. Maxine Campbell, Branch 42, Maryland. Jeanette Carter, Branch 1, Kentucky. Rodney Charles, Branch 157, North Carolina. Pamela Cothran, Branch 131, Missouri. Sonia Doolin, Branch 80, Oklahoma. Paul Foley, Branch 120, Massachusetts. Deborah Hawley, Branch 526, Virginia. Dolores Hunter, Branch 925, Michigan. Carmen Johnson, Branch 39, California. I'm going to try to get this one right. Yashika Laster, Branch 46, Ohio. John Lee, Branch 72 in Wisconsin. Ann Mitchell, Branch 124 in Texas. Myrna Pajinski, Branch 65, Colorado. Laurie Reed, Branch 198, California. Melisant Shoemate, Branch 928, Missouri. Charles Singer, Branch 322, Kentucky. Ann Strickland, Branch 146, Florida. Linda Thomas, Branch 88 in California. Rich Walter, Branch 120, Massachusetts. Gail Hamilton, Branch 73, Louisiana. Jaquisa Thompson, Branch 82, Georgia. Leslie Braverman, Branch 425 in Florida. Myself again, Roy Madden, Branch 6 in Massachusetts. And our queen over there, the leader of this band of nuts, Rosemary Harmon, Branch 920, Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you again, Registration and Credential Committees. You are dismissed. Now, at this time, I'd like to bring Mr. Brian Wagner up for some announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. The flavor of the day. I'm wearing it. All natural strawberry. All right. I'm going to talk about Grand Banquet tickets. The Grand Banquet is this evening. We'll be at 6:15 p.m. with the reception here in the Grand Exhibit Hall. There will be several cash bars, but still use your cash first back. The Grand Banquet itself will begin at 7 p.m. here in this Grand Exhibit Hall. Dinner and music will be by Allie and the Cats, a very popular jazz band here in Southern California. Now, we have a few other announcements. Ask for your prayers for one of our Branch 33 members. Bill Isaac had a medical emergency and had to go to the hospital. He's doing okay, but we ask for your prayers. He's the past president of Branch 33 and longtime NAPS member and currently the secretary. But Bill Isaac, in our prayers, please. I've got a couple of announcements on some door prize winnings from the Atlanta Postal Credit Union. The winner of a $100, gift card was Daryl Rocco, Grand Rapids, Michigan. You can pick that up over there, Daryl. Also, the NARF had a drawing for the National Convention. The following NAPS members has won a free 1-year membership to the National Active and Retired Fellow Employees Association, and that is Karun Raming of Yuba City, California. The member will be sent in by Bob Davison and Branch 159 in Narf, California branch. And the winner of a $50 Amazon gift card is Kevin By of Missouri. So they want to thank you for participating in their drawing and hope all in the hall will join them for the Federal Employees Credit Union joining NARF and wishing us all well for a safe journey home. That's all I have, Mr. President. And no caucuses for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Brian. Just a reminder, our grand banquet this evening will begin at 6:15 p.m. with the reception here in the Grand Exhibit Hall. There will be several cash bars available. The grand banquet itself will begin at 7 p.m. here in the Grand Exhibit Hall. Dinner music will be provided by Ellie and the Cats, a very popular jazz band here in Southern California. Conduction of election of officers. That's our next order of business will be the election of officers. Mic number 7.
I got to cut off my phone. Mr. Chairman, Luther Manuel, Branch 548. Yesterday afternoon, after the presentation and the nominations, it seemed like we lost the flavor of the resolution side of the convention. When you spend as much time as we did doing that, right after that, to go back to resolutions is really hard on the body. There has to be some way to address that. Some of the makers of some of the resolutions that the committee non-concurred with didn't even come up to defend their resolutions. And I think that was about 3 or 4 of them, because everybody was tired. They were ready to get out of here. So some kind of way, I would think that we have to finish those resolutions before we get to nominations and city presentations, just to keep the crowd fresh. That's just my opinion. Hopefully, I'll bring it up next time. Thank you.
Thank you. We could have done that if I would have put a microphone cover over mic 7. Thank you, and your point's well taken. But we do have to finish the business, and I thought it was necessary for us to continue yesterday. The next order of business will be the election of officers. The conduction of the elections, again, will be strictly enforced at this convention. I want to begin by saying that after the ballots were prepared and double-checked by the Ballot and Election Committee, the committee chair was escorted by the hotel security to the front desk of the Town and Country. There, the ballots were placed in a large secure box to which the committee chair and the hotel had the only key. The box was then locked in the hotel vault. This morning, the ballots were retrieved from the locked storage area, and the committee chair was escorted to this hall, again accompanied by hotel security. During the balloting, delegates will be permitted to leave the hall. They will not, however, not be permitted to re-enter the hall until the balloting has been conducted and the sergeant at arms has escorted the Ballot and Election Committee out of the hall. One more time, just so we all be clear. You may leave the hall during the election, but you may not come back in the hall until the election is completely over and the Ballot and the Election Committee has been escorted out of the hall. No exceptions. Sergeant at Arms, please get everyone outside back in the hall for the election of officers. Please open the doors and check and notify everyone to come in. Let's get everyone in. Okay. Fair notice has been given of the election getting underway at this time. Will the Sergeant at Arms please close the door at this time? From this moment on, sergeants, no one is to be permitted to come back into the hall until the election is over. At this time, I'd like to recognize Ms. Ro Herzog, Chairman of the Ballot and Election Committee. I hope I didn't lock her out. Mic number 7.
Mr. Chairman, Luther Manuel, Branch 548. I understand your instruction, but there are a lot of people here who have medical situations where they may be taking water pills or things of that nature that cause them to have to go to the bathroom. And I'm just being honest. You're saying that they can't go out and go to the bathroom and come back. The reason why I bring this up, because it could be one person from a branch carrying the branch's votes. So I'd like you to address that situation. I understand you said absolutely no situation, but what happens in a situation where that happens? I have to go to the bathroom. Once I go out, they're going to tell me I can't come back in. Can you address that?
No exceptions to the rules. Mic number 1.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lanita Pitts. I'm part of the Elizabeth R. Flamone branch in Chicago. I understand Mr. Luther's concern in regards to having to go to the bathroom due to medical reasons. However, again, there have been small problems in the past with people leaving the room and returning while we were doing the vote. In order to keep everyone honest, if you have to go, please make sure you have done your voting prior to leaving and understand that you cannot come back in. So ladies, take your purses with you. Gentlemen, take whatever is valuable to you, such as an iPad or phone. But I understand the chair's decision to not let anyone in. If you leave, make sure you vote before you leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Lanita. We're trying to find out where the balloting committee is. I know they were double checking. We're not going to get very far if we lock them out. I'll start reading it all over again. That's the only exception. Is Mr. Ray Martin in the house? Well, I can't hear you, Bob. Delegate at mic 3.
Bob Quinlan, Florida State President. I just called Ro on the phone. She said she's in the balloting committee room. So I told her to come on over. They're looking for her. So let's let her in.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
Well, okay, we have 5 minutes. They were double checking some issues. So I'll start reading it over. So Sergeant at Arms, you'll be allowed to close the door again once we get Ro and the committee in here. But at this time, I'd like to take a moment to thank someone very important to this organization. As many of you know, this is Mr. Ray Martin's last convention as the NAPS convention planner. Also, he stepped down as the NAPS editor in July. Ray started working with NAPS on the postal supervisors back in 1996. He has brought to the publication and our organizations his unwavering commitment to the highest standard possible. In April 2005, he oversaw the changes to the magazine format we enjoy today. The Postal Service Supervisor is one of the finest postal management association publications out there, and we have Ray to thank for producing month after month this magazine we're so proud of and look forward to receiving. Ray started planning our national conventions in 2006, Las Vegas convention. When you attend one of our conventions, you see, hopefully, everything goes smoothly, starting when you walk into the convention and the hotel, and continue on all to different functions, business sessions, and meetings. Banquets, you name it. Mr. Ray Martin had something to do with it. So much planning and work goes into making sure our conventions are a success. His attention to details and organization skills had made my job so much easier. I couldn't have it done without it. Ray has been my right hand, my left hand, and other than Benita, the most important single figure for putting on this convention for me. Ray has offered various new ways of doing things at our convention, such as the balloting procedures that we have changed. Oh, he did that back in Orlando to ensure the integrity of our election. The one book we're so proud of, all-in-one convention guide. And since our very last convention in Reno, had been displaying revised resolutions on the screen to make the process work better. He's always thinking, always coming up with ways to do it better. I'm proud, very proud, to call Ray my friend. I will miss him. I wish him and Maureen the best as they start to enjoy their retirement. Please, let's give Mr. Ray Martin our standing ovation and a round of applause for being the person that he is. Delegate Mike number 7.
Emmanuel, Branch 548. Mr. Chairman, since we all have not begun the voting process yet, when those doors are open to let in the one individual, anybody else out there should be allowed to come in too. This would be their final chance to come in. The balloting hasn't not started, so if you're going to let one in, then you should let everybody out there who got here a little late, let them come in, because the process really hasn't started yet. You took a point of personal, and I'm just saying, we got to be fair, as you said, with everybody.
That will happen. We wouldn't do it any other way there, Luther. Mike number 2.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Heather Odell, and I'm with Branch 159, sunny San Diego. You know, this mic here doesn't get called much. I'm wondering if Luther at mic 7 should be over here, so that way we don't have to. I'm just trying to warm you up. Anyway, I wanted to take time for a point of personal privilege. Branch 159 put together these polo shirts. A lot of people had asked for different sizes with different colors. We got more in. We have some saved. Those people haven't come back yet. We can't keep holding the shirts, so I would like everyone that wants a shirt to please take time and go out there and get some shirts after the voting.
Thank you. We need to support that branch, Branch 159, our host branch. Please support them. Mic number 2. Mic number 6.
Good morning, Louis. Antonio Cuevas, Branch 183, formerly presently Branch 299 and Carolinas by State 936. I haven't given anyone an update this week. I'm down to 6 years, 6 months, 3 days in the post office. Second comment, I want to thank all those participants that took the time to donate for Luther's hearing aid, because he has not failed to hear one item since the other day. Thank you to everyone. Give yourselves a big round of applause.
Thank you. I'm looking. Will Sergeant Lawrence please open those doors so if anybody wants to come in, they can come in now. And we'll go through the procedure of closing them. Because I don't want anybody to think that we deny access and leave. So let them in. Wow, I see a lot of people are coming in. I see a couple of candidates coming. Maybe we're blessed because the ballot committee was still in session. When National Harbor, these delegates got a second chance that may not happen again in 2 years. Mic number 7. Delegate at mic number 7.
Good morning, Mr. President, fellow delegates. Good morning. I am Keith Burrows, Branch 86, Dallas,
I have
Texas.
your phone, Keith. Come up here and get it. I purchased it yesterday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nevertheless, I'd like to take this opportunity, since I will be departing today. I will not be here for the banquet. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the wonderful people that I have met, all the compassion shown to me in their donation for the funds towards my phone. I shall, when I return to Dallas, purchase a phone, and for those of you who so graciously made your contribution, the phone will be ours. Mr. President, as always, you have been so gracious to me. You did offer to buy me a phone. I really won't hold you to that, but I thank you for that. And I just want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a safe return to your final destination today or tomorrow.
Benita appreciates that. I know the ballot committee stayed in session until about 8 o'clock last night to make sure everything was done correctly. So they may have to I asked them to recount it, so I guess that's what happened this morning. Yeah, let's do the scholarships while we're waiting. Appreciate it, Jay. Come on.
Morning, everyone. At this time, we'd like to introduce this year's Vince Palladino Memorial Student Scholarship winners. The National Association of Postal Supervisors provides annually the Vince Palladino Memorial Student Scholarships. These scholarships are awarded in memory of the late NAPS president in honor of his dedication to NAPS and our members. The children and grandchildren of current NAPS members are eligible to participate. This year, there were 10 scholarships awarded, representing 2 winners from each of the respective NAPS regions, the Northeast, Eastern, Southern, Central, and Western regions. After the convention, NAPS will notify each winner by mail and include their $1,000 scholarship check made payable to the college or educational institution where each scholarship winner will be attending. And now, the winners of the 2014 Vince Palladino Memorial Student Scholarship. From the Northeast region, the winners are Elizabeth Cawley. Elizabeth is the daughter of Richard Cawley, who's in the room, a member of New England Area Springfield, Mass. Branch 102. Elizabeth will be attending Westfield State College studying education. And Jenna DeSalvio. Jenna DeSalvio is the daughter of Francis DeSalvio, member of New England Area's Boston Branch 43. Jenna will be attending Union College studying economics. Our Eastern region winners are Taylor Anderson. Taylor is the daughter of Tasha Alexander, member of Capital Atlantic Area's Charleston Branch 215. Taylor will be attending Coastal Carolina University with a degree in exercise science. And, you can clap for that. The second Eastern Region winner is Tyler Correll. Tyler is the son of Thomas Correll, member of the Mideast Area's Lehigh Pocono Branch 387. Tyler will be attending Boston University studying chemistry. The Central Region winners, Andrew Arthur. Andrew is the son of Joseph Arthur, member of the Mink Area's Waterloo District Branch 586. Andrew will be attending Wartburg College studying biology. And the second Central Region winner will be Ann D. Johnson. Ann D. is the daughter of James Johnson, member of the Illini Area's Illinois North Shore Branch 270. Andy will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee studying sign language. And now the winners from the Southern region. Reed Jacob. Reed is the son of Michael Jacob, member of the Southeast Area's Jacksonville Branch 93. Reed will be attending Florida Gulf Coast University studying education. And the second winner from the Southern region is Jimmy James Lopez. Jimmy is the son of Jimmy Lopez, member of Texas Area's Houston Branch 122. Jimmy will be attending San Jacinto Junior College studying pharmacy. Representing the Western region, the winners are Katrina Duran. Katrina is the daughter of Onofre Duran, member of the Rocky Mountain Area's Arizona Jerome V. Blanton Branch 246. Katrina will be attending the University of Arizona studying history. Also from the Western region, Stephen Lester III. Stephen is the son of Stephen Lester Jr., member of San Bernardino District Branch 466. Stephen will be attending the University of California, San Diego, studying mathematics. The resident officers and the entire executive board congratulate our 2014 Vincent Palladino Memorial Student Scholarship winners and their families. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, and congratulations to all the winners. Now, here's Roe. Let me go through the procedures over. During the balloting, delegates will be permitted to leave the hall. They will not, however, not be permitted to enter the hall until the balloting has been completed. Sergeants in arms have escorted the balloting committee out of the hall. One more time, just so we'll be all clear, you may not leave the hall during the election, but you may not come back until the election is completely over and the balloting and election committee has been escorted out of the hall. No exceptions. Sergeant at arms, please get everyone outside back in the hall for the election of officers. Thank you. Once again, Sergeant at Arms, please get everybody out of the hallway. Fair notice has been given for the election getting underway at this time. Will the Sergeant at Arms please close the door at this time? From this moment on, sergeants, no one else is to be permitted to come back into the hall until the election is over. At this time, I'd like to recognize Roe Herzog, Chairman of the Balloting and Election Committee.
Thank you. Good morning, fellow delegates. In accordance with the rules of this convention and Section 3, Article 4, I, Roe Herzog, Chairman of the Ballot Committee, cast one ballot for all of the unopposed offices and declare these offices filled. Before I call on Mr. Kalaki to read the roll call, I would just like to go over the procedures so that everyone has a clear understanding, especially the many first-timers who are here, just how this process works. If you'll note the setup, there's tables along the sides, the front, and as I was informed, you guys have been made aware where you're going, your area is for you to vote. Jay will begin to call the branches by area. Brian, excuse me. See how old this is. You do not have to wait until your area or branch is called. And before the members representing your branch can proceed to the table corresponding to your area to pick up the ballots, you can proceed as soon as the roll call begins. Be sure that the person that is sent to the table has credentials, as they will only be given ballots for their branch listed on their credentials. If there's an issue, I, the chairman of the Credentials Committee, and myself will be available to work with you to resolve these issues. Once corrected, you'll be able to proceed. The ballots you receive will have a post-it note on top with the number of ballots you should receive. Should you have a question regarding the number of ballots allowed your branch, you must count the ballots before you leave the table. I repeat, you must count the ballots before you leave the table. One more time. You must count the ballots before you leave the table. Once you leave the table, sorry. Before you leave the table, you're going to give the post-it note to the person that handed you your ballots. The number of ballots received cannot be disputed once you walk away. Ballots should be clearly marked with your choice of candidate. A simple X or check mark will do. Please do not mark more than one candidate for each office. Should you make a mistake, circle the name of the candidate you wish to choose so as to leave no doubt about your choice to the ballot committee. Please help the committee by marking your choices clearly, thereby ensuring that every ballot cast is counted. Please note there is no block voting. Every ballot must be marked. Balloting will be closed 15 minutes after the roll call is completed. Please pay special attention to the clock on the screens.
Do not attempt to catch up with the ballot committee as they leave the convention floor, because once the ballot boxes are closed, your ballots cannot and will not be accepted. You may as well take them home as a souvenir of this convention. Thank you for your attention as these procedures have been reviewed.
Thank you, Rob. Delegate at mic number 7.
Luther Manuel, Branch 548. We haven't been told where to go to pick up our ballots, as the previous speaker stated. We haven't been told. So I could spend 15 minutes walking around looking for my ballots. Could someone please tell us where they're going to be so the body is better informed?
No, this located next to your area. So if it's not that side, it's going to be here. But your balloting station should be closest to your area. I think New York is up front. New England should be up front here. And the eastern region should be over there on the wall. So all you have to do is go to the ballot box closest to your area, and it should be there. If it's not, it's going to be on this side. You should recognize the people in your area, because mic number 1.
Hello, Lenita Pitts, Chicago Branch 14. I think what we used to do in the past, point of personal privilege. What we used to do in the past, we would have all of the ballot committee personnel in the front, and we used to take the actual signs from every area and put them where they can be seen by their areas. So they're closest to the statues as they are right now. Okay, so we are trying something different.
Well,
Okay, well, Luther made a point. He didn't know where to get his ballots at, and in the past, they were all across the front.
Okay. Before Brian starts reading the roll call, you can look at your signs, and your balloting area should be very close to it. Okay, Brian, you're on.
Branch 908, Connecticut State, 1 vote. Branch 3, New Haven, 12 votes. Branch 5, Hartford, 24 votes. Branch 47, Fairfield County, 7 votes. Branch 441, Bridgeport, 2 votes. Branch 96, Portland, 16 votes. Branch 924, Massachusetts State, 1 vote. Branch 6, Worcester, 7 votes. Worcester, sorry, that's my Boston name. Branch 43, Boston, 36 votes. Branch 102, Springfield, 10 votes. Branch 118, South Coastal, 2 votes. Branch 120, Southeastern Massachusetts, 12 votes. Branch 375, Central Massachusetts, 4 votes. Branch 419, Berkshire County District, 1 vote. Branch 498, Northeastern Massachusetts District, 15 votes. Branch 932, New Hampshire State, 11 votes. Branch 105, Providence, 18 votes. Branch 235, Burlington, 2 votes. Executive Vice President Jay Kalaki, 1 vote. New England Area Vice President Cy Dumas, 1 vote. Branch 935, New York State, Handelman Palladino Branch, 1 vote. Branch 7, Syracuse, 8 votes. Branch 11, Ann Conish, 13 votes. Branch 27, Sal Pace, 17 votes. Branch 51, Postal Police Supervisors, 5 votes. Branch 68, Brooklyn, 19 votes. Branch 83, Capital District, 8 votes. Branch 85, Jamaica JFK, 13 votes. Branch 100, New York City, 53 votes. Branch 110, Vince Palladino, 4 votes. Branch 164, Flushing, 17 votes. Branch 202, Long Island Branch, 39 votes. Branch 330, Mid-Hudson, 6 votes. Branch 336, Westchester County, 21 votes. Branch 459, Bronx, 8 votes. Branch 216, San Juan, 17 votes. Northeast Region VP, Thomas Roma, 1 vote. New York Area VP, Jim Warden, 1 vote. Branch 909, Delaware State, 8 votes. Branch 933, New Jersey State, 3 votes. Branch 53, Vincent J. Lambusta, Branch, 10 votes. Branch 74th, South Jersey, 17 votes. Branch 79, Angelo J. Rossi, 3 votes. Branch 99, Patterson, 8 votes. Branch 224, Bergen Passaic, 7 votes. Branch 237, Union County, 6 votes. Branch 287, Shore Area Branch 287, 4 votes. Branch 327, Robert L. Towns Branch, 10 votes. Branch 343, Morris County, 2 votes. Branch 538, New Jersey Bulk and Foreign Mail Center, 12 votes. Branch 548, Dominic V. Daniels Facility, 12 votes. Branch 568, MSC Red Bank District, 6 votes. Branch 941, Pennsylvania State, 3 votes. Branch 12, Lancaster, 4 votes. Lancaster. Branch 20, Pittsburgh, 25 votes. Branch 35, Philadelphia, 21 votes. Branch 50, Harrisburg, 13 votes. Branch 70, Scranton, 5 votes. Branch 112, Erie, 3 votes. Branch 355, Southeastern Pennsylvania, 16 votes. Branch 387, Lehigh Pocono, 7 votes. Branch 554, Pittsburgh BMC, 8 votes. Branch 562, Philadelphia BMC, 6 votes. Mideast Area VP, Hans Aglidian, 1 vote. Branch 135, A. Millie Callaway, Branch 135, 19 votes. Branch 923, Maryland, D.C. State, 9 votes. Branch 30, Maryland, Highland, 1 vote. Branch 42, Baltimore, 26 votes. Branch 403, Montgomery County, 6 votes. Branch 531, Southern Maryland GMF NDC, 14 votes. Branch 592, Suburban GMF, 3 votes. Branch 936, Carolinas Bi-State, 6 votes. Branch 151, Asheville, 2 votes. Branch 157, Greensboro, 22 votes. Branch 176, Winston-Salem, 2 votes. Branch 177, Raleigh, 17 votes. Branch 183, Charlotte, 21 votes. Branch 248, Wilmington, 3 votes. Branch 299, Fayetteville, 5 votes. Branch 215, Charleston, 5 votes. Branch 225, Columbia, 11 votes. Branch 228, Greenville, 7 votes. Branch 951, Virginia State, 1 vote. Branch 22, Roanoke, 7 votes. Branch 98, Richmond, 18 votes. Branch 132, Adolph P. Chippa Memorial, 11 votes. Branch 526, James E. Parks Jr. Nova District, 38 votes. Capital Atlantic VP, Richard Green, 1 vote. Branch 55, Evansville. Branch 55, Evansville, 4 votes. Branch 920, Kentucky State, 5 votes. Branch 1, Louisville, 15 votes. Branch 322, Lexington, 7 votes. Branch 390, Eastern Kentucky area, 4 votes. Branch 938, Ohio State, 2 votes. Branch 2, Dayton, 6 votes. Branch 15, Toledo, 6 votes. Branch 29, Cincinnati, 25 votes. Branch 33, Columbus, 23 votes. Branch 46, Cleveland, 24 votes. Branch 63, Akron, 4 votes. Branch 133, Youngstown, 5 votes. Branch 186, Canton, 4 votes. Branch 955, West Virginia State, 4 votes. Branch 212, Charleston, 9 votes. Pioneer Area VP, Chuck Mullador, 1 vote. Indiana State, Branch 917. Branch 917, Indiana State, 2 votes. Branch 8, Indianapolis, 22 votes. Branch 169, South Bend, 3 votes. Branch 171, Gary, MSC, 4 votes. Branch 204, Fort Wayne, 4 votes. Branch 576, MSC, Muncie, 2 votes. Branch 925, Michigan State, 1 vote. Branch 23, Detroit, 20 votes. Branch 130, Grand Rapids, 12 votes. Branch 140, Flint, 3 votes. Branch 142, Southwestern, 5 votes. Branch 152, Lansing, 5 votes. Branch 268, Southeastern Michigan, 10 votes. Branch 361, Muskegon, 2 votes. Branch 508, Royal Oak, 15 votes. Branch 545, Detroit, NDC, 4 votes. Michiana Area VP, Kevin Trayer, 1 vote. Branch 916, Illinois State, 1 vote. Branch 14, Elizabeth R. Flamon, 36 votes. Branch 17, Fox Valley, IMPC, 2 votes. Branch 34, Northern Illinois District, 7 votes. Branch 220, Rockford, 3 votes. Branch 255, Heart of Illinois Branch, 16 votes. Branch 270, Illinois North Shore, 7 votes. Branch 289, West Suburban, 8 votes. Branch 369, Central Illinois District, 8 votes. Branch 489, North Suburban Facility, 10 votes. Branch 493, South Suburban Facility, 9 votes. Branch 541, Chicago BMC, 5 votes. Illini Area VP, Luz Marino, 1 vote. Secretary Treasurer, Brian Wagner, 1 vote. Branch 926, Minnesota State, 5 votes. Branch 16, Minneapolis, 24 votes. Branch 104, St. Paul, 14 votes. Branch 946, South Dakota State, 8 votes. Branch 956, Wisconsin State, 4 votes. Branch 72, Milwaukee, 18 votes. Branch 213, Madison, 9 votes. Branch 442, Green Bay District, 5 votes. Branch 549, SCF Oshkosh District, 2 votes. North Central Area VP, Neil Baker, 1 vote. Branch 918, Iowa State, 3 votes. Branch 172, Des Moines, 12 votes. Branch 919, Kansas State, 2 votes. Branch 52, Topeka, 4 votes. Branch 205, Wichita District, 7 votes. Branch 548, Kansas City, Kansas, 6 votes. Branch 928, Missouri State, 4 votes. Branch 36, Kansas City, 18 votes. Branch 119, Springfield, 3 votes. Branch 131, Gateway Branch, 33 votes. Branch 527, Mid-Missouri, 3 votes. Branch 930, Nebraska State, 2 votes. Branch 10, Omaha, 15 votes. Mink Area VP, Larry Ewing, 1 vote. Central Region VP, Craig Johnson, 1 vote. Branch 911, Florida State, 1 vote. Branch 81, Tampa, 21 votes. Branch 93, Jacksonville, 23 votes. Branch 146, Miami, 37 votes. Branch 154, West Palm Beach, 15 votes. Branch 156, St. Petersburg, 4 votes. Branch 231, Pensacola, 8 votes. Branch 296, Fort Lauderdale, 9 votes. Branch 321, Orlando, 13 votes. Branch 353, Daytona Beach, 3 votes. Branch 354, Tallahassee, 3 votes. Branch 386, Clearwater, 5 votes. Branch 405, Gainesville, 2 votes. Branch 406, Central Florida, 12 votes. Branch 420, Southwest Florida, 8 votes. Branch 425, Suncoast, 5 votes. Branch 478, Heartland District, 4 votes. Branch 577, Punta Gorda, 2 votes. Branch 912, Georgia State, 3 votes. Branch 40, Savannah, 2 votes. Branch 82, Atlanta, 35 votes. Branch 125, Augusta, 3 votes. Branch 281, Columbus, 2 votes. Branch 567, Atlanta, NDC, 4 votes. Branch 595, North Georgia District, 11 votes. Southeast Area VP, Jerry Sebastian, 1 vote. Southern Region VP, Tim Ford, 1 vote. Branch 901, Alabama State, 5 votes. Branch 45, Birmingham, 15 votes. Branch 208, Montgomery District, 5 votes. Branch 399, Huntsville, 3 votes. Branch 921, Louisiana, Mississippi Bi-State, 4 votes. Branch 73, New Orleans, 14 votes. Branch 170, Shreveport, 4 votes. Branch 209, Baton Rouge, 8 votes. Branch 421, Lafayette, 3 votes. Branch 199, Jackson, 7 votes. Central Gulf Area VP, Roy Boudouin, 1 vote. President Lewis Atkins, 1 vote. Branch 904, Arkansas State, 4 votes. Branch 173, Pulaski County, 11 votes. Branch 939, Oklahoma State, 2 votes. Branch 80, Oklahoma City, 14 votes. Branch 174, Tulsa, 7 votes. Branch 947, Tennessee State, 1 vote. Branch 32, Middle Tennessee Branch, 15 votes. Branch 41, Don Ledbetter Branch, 16 votes. Branch 97, Chattanooga, 6 votes. Branch 165, Knoxville, 7 votes. Branch 555, Memphis, NDC, 3 votes. Cotton Belt Area VP, Cherie Green, 1 vote. Branch 948, Texas State, 11 votes. Branch 9, Austin, 12 votes. Branch 49, Golden Triangle, 3 votes. Branch 86, Dallas, 35 votes. Branch 103, San Antonio, 19 votes. Branch 122, Houston, 27 votes. Branch 124, Fort Worth, 24 votes. Branch 136, El Paso, 5 votes. Branch 203, Waco, 2 votes. Branch 229, Corpus Christi, 5 votes. Branch 265, Lubbock, 3 votes. Branch 428, North Texas, 10 votes. Branch 559, Dallas, NDC, 7 votes. Branch 589, North Houston, 9 votes. Texas Area VP, Jaime Elizondo, 1 vote. Branch 435, Anchorage, 8 votes. Branch 915, Idaho State, 6 votes. Branch 929, Montana State, 9 votes. Branch 940, Oregon State, 1 vote. Branch 66, Portland District, 22 votes. Branch 275, Capital Branch, 4 votes. Branch 276, Southwest Oregon, 5 votes. Branch 954, Washington State, 2 votes. Branch 31, Tacoma, 7 votes. Branch 60, Spokane, 8 votes. Branch 61, Seattle, 28 votes. Northwest Area VP, Cindy McCracken, 1 vote. Branch 903, Arizona State Branch 903, 1 vote. Branch 246, Arizona Jerome V. Blanton Branch, 28 votes. Branch 376, Southern Arizona, 7 votes. Branch 517, Mesa, 3 votes. Branch 907, Terry G. Brady Memorial Branch, 1 vote. Branch 65, Mile High, Metro, Colorado, 42 votes. Branch 141, Colorado Springs, 5 votes. Branch 557, Northern Colorado, 2 votes. Branch 561, Denver, NDC, 4 votes. Branch 249, Reno, 5 votes. Branch 463, Las Vegas District, 18 votes. Branch 934, New Mexico State, 1 vote. Branch 295, Albuquerque, 15 votes. Branch 949, Utah State, 1 vote. Branch 139, Sundance Branch, 16 votes. Branch 300, Cheyenne, 3 votes. Rocky Mountain Area VP, John Aceves, 1 vote. Branch 905, California State, 2 votes. Branch 39, Los Angeles, 38 votes. Branch 77, Sacramento, 24 votes. Branch 88, San Francisco, 29 votes. Branch 94, San Jose District, 14 votes. Branch 127, East Bay District, 29 votes. Branch 159, San Diego, Motomi, Branch 159, 26 votes. Branch 197, Central Valley, 6 votes. Branch 198, Long Beach District, 8 votes. Branch 210, Napa, Solano County District, 2 votes. Branch 239, Richmond, 1 vote. Branch 244, Pacifics to Sierras, 30 votes. Branch 266, Southern California Bay District, 9 votes. Branch 274, Fresno, 6 votes. Branch 373, Al, Navarro, Quad County, 38 votes. Branch 466, San Bernardino District, 14 votes. Branch 497, North Coast, 5 votes. Branch 214, Honolulu, 14 votes. Pacific Area VP, Hayes Cherry, 1 vote. Western Region VP, Marilyn Walton, 1 vote. This concludes the reading of the roll call. The polls will close in exactly 15 minutes. This means every delegate in this hall will have had at least 15 minutes in which to cast their ballot. I am now starting the large digital clock for the countdown you see on the big screen. That is the official time. Yeah. I've already done mine. Five minutes. 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Sitting in what back way? All right, he's turned the gavel over to me to do it. Oh, we did. So that's fine.
I would do a 2-minute.
Yeah.
They didn't really hear you
Yeah.
on the 5 for whatever.
Nope. Two minutes. Delegates, please start taking your seats so that we can close down the balloting. We want to make sure. Please take your seats so people can start finishing their voting. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. The balloting committee wants to make sure they can confirm the ballot boxes will be closed on time. So please start taking your seats. 1:30. 1:30. Delegates, please start taking your seats so we can get the balloting committee out, so we can get the ballots out. 1 minute. 1 minute. Delegates, 1 minute. Please get your votes in. We need to make sure that the ballot boxes are cleared for final closing. 43. 40 seconds. Thirty seconds. 30 seconds. $20 seconds. Delegates, please start taking your seats. Let's count it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The polls are now closed. No more ballots may be placed in the ballot boxes. No exceptions. Will the Sergeant of Arms please escort the Ballot and Election Committee out of the hall? Will the Sergeant of Arms please escort the Ballot and Election Committee out of the hall?
What's up now?
Q. It says Lewis.
Yeah, we'll get Bernie in them.
You got to recognize the 2016, recognize Bridget.
Yeah. I'm going to get Bernie back up here, though, and go through the resolutions. Everybody's out. Okay. At this time, I'd like to bring Bernie McCarthy back up, please. Bernie and the Resolution Committee. Good, thank you. Well, I'll get back. They got. I'm gonna run to the restaurant so you can.
How do you want me to deal with those ones that we tabled? Remember the ones that we tabled? Or no, we took no action.
Right. I mean, it's the ones we
Am I
didn't have
obligated to
copies.
read them?
No, the ones we.
No, the ones that we took no action because they were for updates. Because of the what?
I thought we
They
took
were
care of
asking
those.
for updates. Yeah. Well, we're going to come to the numbers. Shall I read them now?
Yeah, we got to read them, but the committee just not going to take any action.
Okay.
Right. And I still hold firm action. They'll be put on the table to HR. So the resident officers are going to. You know, I mean, the resident officers are eventually. But that's,
Well, I know what you did. I just want to make sure when we get to it, there isn't.
we all on the same page. Correct.
Can we have your attention? I'd like to present Bernie McCarthy.
Number 66, right?
Correct. Good morning, everyone. We're going to start this morning on resolution number 66. Resolution number 66 read as follows. Resolved. Oh, 96. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear what you said. 96. Page 96. Resolved that all campaigning for NAP's executive board positions be limited to a time frame beginning with the second day of the legislative training seminar through the National Convention in National Convention years only, and be it further resolved that a 2-hour time frame be included in the LTS program in National Convention years for the purpose of announcing candidates for national office. The committee's recommendation was originally one of non-concurrence, and after meeting with the objector, the committee reaffirmed non-concurrence.
The committee's recommendation for resolution number 66 is non-concurrence. Do we have any discussion? Do we have any discussion? Microphone number 4.
Neil Baker, Branch 104, St. Paul, Minnesota. I speak in favor of the committee's recommendation for non-concurrence. One of the reasons is we already have some guidelines and rules in place about LTS. This resolution says, well, should be limited to some time during LTS. LTS is for legislative training. And, you know, we get tired of all the political mail and everything we get on our local elections. We really don't need to start this at LTS. We know who our members are. So just in short, I agree with the committee's non-concurrence.
Is there any other discussion on resolution number 66? Any other discussion on resolution 66? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the recommendation of the committee on resolution number 66 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? The committee's recommendation for non-concurrence is carried.
Resolution number 67. Excuse me. Resolved that if no subject matter expert, someone currently employed in that field with a high level of knowledge and a past history of effective communication on the topic, is within the ranks of the NAP's executive board, that subject matter experts be used from the field. The committee's original recommendation was for non-concurrence, and after meeting with the objector, the committee reaffirms non-concurrence.
Recommendation of the committee on resolution number 67 is for non-concurrence. Do we have any discussion? Microphone number 5.
Steve Kabliska, Branch 244, Central California. I rise to the body, and I'm asking you to listen closely to this. Number one, when the USPS goes into negotiations, they bring in subject matter people who are extremely knowledgeable. When our people go in there, our president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, they don't know everything. And how can they refute or know that the USPS is giving them legitimate information? How do they know the truth? If we have somebody in there that is as knowledgeable, and in most cases more knowledgeable, because they're field people, we have the ability to know the truth. I ask you, please, let us have good representation in our organization. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion on resolution number 67? Microphone number 9.
Cy Dumont, New England Area Vice President. I support the committee's recommendation for non-concurrence. The current and past resident officers have indeed brought subject matter experts in when needed. The resolution is redundant. It's unnecessary. We're already doing that. Thank you.
Any other discussion on resolution number 67? Microphone number 10.
Hi, good morning. This is Cynthia Shefton, Branch 79 from the great state of New Jersey. I just have a question, point of information. I'd like to know why they said non-concurrence, please.
When the committee went over this resolution, the majority of the members of the committee felt that this practice is currently already being done. They found the bulk of this resolution to be a redundancy of activities that are already taking place. That's essentially why they went non-concurrence.
Microphone number 4.
Neil Baker, Branch 104, St. Paul. Well, you know, if you vote non-concurrence with this resolution, it's almost like saying you don't agree with it, that you don't endorse using a subject matter expert. Yes, Cy's right, we already do it. We brought in Kevin Trayer, who's a maintenance manager, when we had maintenance issues and we were going over the maintenance restructuring. To say non-concurrence, it's almost like telling the officers you do not want them to do that. What the heck is wrong with saying, let's concur with it, we're already doing it, you're just saying you're endorsing it?
Microphone number 3.
Bobby Bach, Branch 321, I call for the question.
Ladies and gentlemen, the question has been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question on resolution number 67 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now we'll vote on resolution number 67. All those in favor of the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? No. I think we're going to have to do a standing vote on this. So all those in favor of the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence for resolution number 67, all those in favor of non-concurrence, please stand. Only delegates. Okay, please, would you be seated? All those opposed to the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence?
Huh? Can you tell?
In the opinion of the chair, it appears that the resolution the vote has failed. What do you think, Floyd? It's close. Microphone number 7.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Keith Boros, Branch 86. I request clarification on the vote has failed. What does that mean?
Well, because it appears that more people voted against the committee's recommendation, that we will take action on the resolution.
I do apologize, but I'm still not clear. When you say take action, the committee's recommendation has been defeated.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Microphone number 1.
Good morning, Lenita Pitts, Elizabeth Famone, Branch 14, from Chicago. I call for a division.
A division has been called for.
At this time, make sure you get out your credentials, because we're going to get the sergeants in arms. We're going to count them. and you must hold your credentials up to be counted. Lord, get the sergeant in arms in place. We're going to count. Close the doors. Close the doors. Nobody be when we doing a roll. Well, not a roll call, but during the count, no one would be allowed in to the main hall. Are you ready, Lloyd? Yeah. The secretaries are going to help also. That's the normal procedures. Okay, we have assigned sections. Okay, all those, please be seated so you won't have an opportunity for being double counted. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please stand and hold your credentials. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please have your credentials available. Please remain standing until the sergeant at arms and secretary request you to be seated.
Yeah, I mean, the area VP's already sent out and said we're looking for input on this, and you know.
I don't know. I never understood their intent. They know it's being done, unless they're just trying to tie hands. That's our branch. That's our branch. We want her to come up here.
Who says she's?
That's her branch. 244.
Right, 244.
That is her branch.
Southwest. I paid for early check-in. I thought they were going to check me in, and I went and print my green pass. I'm like, it's 2:13. I'm not quite with them at the airport. No, I wanted 7:05. I had to fight with them. See, what did I know? And that's like when I went to put my boarding pass, it said 2:13. And that's what I said. I have to fight with them at the airport. You know? That's why I'm at PWI. And my boyfriend's picking me up. I'm going to Virginia.
A long weekend.
Yeah. And then I come home. Yeah. And I come home for 2 days, and then I go to Deep Creek. My sorority sisters.
You go to where?
Deep Creek Lake in Maryland. Sorority sisters. We're having to rent it out.
Right?
You're retired. You're old.
It appears all the affirmative have been counted. Please bring your count up to the podium.
Still could have. Yeah. The other one, I think, unless it has 4 legs and hooves, you don't want it. And I hope my son.
Never say never.
Okay. Now, all those against the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please stand with your delegate credentials in hand.
Yep. Yeah, there's more now than there were.
Remain standing until the sergeant at arms or the secretary give you directions to sit down.
Yeah.
Are these?
Let me make my notes here. These are all that's left. But these are 3 of them. There's not really that many.
No, because we're not going to get
I hope we
discussion.
get done so I can announce my committee, because I'm leaving at about 12 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm going home at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I have to.
Oh, we should be, yeah.
This is the list. I'm not sure I'm leaving. No, I mean, I'm leaving. It's just that he thinks we'll be done. If he wants us to stay up here, we should be. It's the last name. The first name, the only one that gets me is yeah, it's not spelled Dorothea. That's not Dorothea. That's Dorothy. Well, she corrected me, yeah, but it's spelled Dorothea.
I'll say misprinted on her.
She prefers Dorothea.
Okay. Well, yeah, we say many misprinted. I know for years it's Dorothea. What is his name?
Barely. Barely. I call him Don Barely, but he corrects me all the time. It's barely.
Like barely there.
Yeah, I'm barely there. Yeah. That's Barely, Brandt, Crow, Franco, Garland, Hughes, Johnson, Jones, Malcolm, McCarthy, McKelvey, Murphy, Hart, Penix, Rudolph, Spruer, Sutton, Tutt, and Wesley. So actually, they're all fairly simple. They're fairly simple.
No Patowskis or...
No.
No.
No Polacks.
I hate to mispronounce somebody's name. I'm a Polak.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
What's your maiden name?
Brandt.
Okay, where's the Polish at?
My grandmother was Zushka Przorski.
You sure that's not Russian?
It's Polish. Zushka Przorski.
I bet you couldn't have 6 beers and try to repeat that really quick. You wouldn't make it.
Yeah, my married name is Hyde. Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I married Mr. Hyde. I did.
I bet you did too. Actually, today's my anniversary. Today's the 29th.
Yeah. Thought we were taking her home.
Yeah. But it's right here. I'll make sure you.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll do 72 and then you do. Okay? You're going to do 71? 72. You'll be starting at 74. Is that on there?
74 was one of the
74 and 75. I'm going to do 70.
The number that's for the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, 417. Those voting against the committee recommendation of non-concurrence is 460. So the committee recommendation of non-concurrence fails. That was close, so we did have a good count on that.
Okay, that takes us to resolution number 71. Resolution 71 reads as follows. Resolved that all EAS 12 postmaster, secretary, and administrative assistant positions be upgraded to EAS level 15. The committee's original recommendation was for no action. After a meeting, after we actually deliberated on it again, but the committee reaffirms no action on resolution number 71.
Delegate at mic number 3.
Bobby Bach, branch 321. When you look at the resolution, the whereases and between the pay for an EAS 12 administrative assistant and an EAS and a PS 7 clerk, there's only a couple $100 difference. You know, in Suncoast, we're always ahead. They're always ahead of the game. We have the thing we call the pool master. Pool master is a postmaster who has all these associate offices. And these other administrative secretaries have taken on these additional duties for these offices. This may not be the form, but let's send a message that these people need to get a decent wage. They should be making more than a couple $100 than a clerk. And I wish that we make a concurrence to concur with this resolution. Thank you.
Delegate at mic number 7.
Luther Emanuel, branch 548. I agree with the previous delegate. First of all, I do take exception to the fact that the committee took no action. Even if they said non-concurrence, that would have been better than no action. No action is going to set a precedent that we don't want and we don't need. Now, going back to the issue, anything that we can do as an organization to bring attention to the executive board is a help. Whether or not they say this is inappropriate, we're going to have it in pay consultations. We at least are letting you know this is something that we want you to discuss. So I speak in favor of this resolution.
Number 9, are you speaking pro?
No.
Okay, you're
I'm at the wrong mic.
mic number 9. Okay, you're the only one at the mic. Okay.
Okay. My name is Beverly Jeffers, branch 157 from Greensboro, and I'm a first timer. My question, a point, I'm trying to get all of this right. I guess this is a point of information, a point of preference. I have been trying to follow along because this is the first time. So I've been trying to follow along with all the procedures, and I think I've done a pretty good job. But for resolution number 71, if it is something that was submitted to the resolution committee, and when it was originally submitted, it was something that the committee knew would not be entertained at this convention. I guess my point is, if something like that happens in the future, would it not be easier if we just don't print it in the booklet? Because I was trying to follow along with no action, and I didn't see anything for no action, and then it was objected to, and then we had a second reading for something we couldn't make a decision on. I don't debate the fact that, yes, there needs to be issues addressed as far as pay is concerned, but if you already know you're not going to address it here, why did we even put it in here? It makes it a little confusing to try to follow along, because everything that's here should be something that we're addressing.
Thank you, Delegate at mic number 9. And you're correct. Earlier during the convention days, we're going to have no action printed in there. But to give a little history, in previous convention, when a resolution dealing with pay was said that we would just take it to pay consultant, the delegates still wanted to hear it and talk about it, and then we still take it to pay consultant. So that's why it was printed in the resolution book. Mic number 7.
Kathy Sutton, Al Navarro, Branch 373. You know, we have a good procedure in place for this, and I don't know how long ago they wrote that resolution, but if you had done all the paperwork and submitted it to headquarters, they would have already been able to take it to the post office to consider. The idea was to cut down the time that it took to get these through. So that's why the committee looked at it that way. I would say that's why. Because there is a really good system in place and we need to use it. And I also agree it shouldn't have been in the book.
Thank you. Mic number 9.
Hello, Deborah Holly, Branch 526. Although we're not dealing with it from a monetary standpoint, this same results will occur based on what we concurred on for Resolution 42. Resolution 42 specifically discusses making sure we have the proper differences between craft and EAS. So that one is already concurred with and will affect this. We don't need this. We need to go along with the committee.
Delegate at number 6.
Mr. Chair, the question, I'm Bill Shemluck. I'm from Branch 174 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If our delegates don't entertain this resolution, then where do we speak out about our pay consultants? I mean, you know, do you get information from every branch? Do we get every information from every EAS level from 12 to 23? I mean, there has to be a forum for us to discuss what our members want and actually, really more so, what our members need. If we take no action on something that needs to go to the consultative process and pay, you know, where is our pay consultants coming from? You know, this is our forum to voice what we need, and we need to do that. We can't just take no action on something that tells us this is your livelihood, but we're not going to explain it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Delegate number 9, mic number 9.
Thank you, Louis. Cy Duma, New England Area Vice President. I want to make a motion to put before the body to take a vote on the resolution that's in the book. And if the motion passes, then I would like to speak at a little bit length to support the language of the resolve that the resolution committee took no action on. So at this point, Louis, I move that the body be allowed to vote on accepting the resolution that was submitted. And I'll put it in writing and bring it up if there's a second.
your traditions and your practice that's kind of confusing here from a parliamentary standpoint, because if the committee's recommendation is one of no action, is that what they're voting on? Are they voting either to approve no action, or they vote, and if they vote to uphold, then that means there's not going to be any action on this? And if they vote no, that means there will be action on this?
The way he just said it, they want to vote on it as its bodies. If they want to
That's
vote
right.
on
So
it,
he wants to,
on the
so what he wants to do is bypass the committee's recommendation, which is what I thought we were doing anyway. Yeah.
that's
So
what
his
it was.
motion is not necessary, because what we're doing is saying the committee doesn't have any recommendations, so we're leaving it up to you guys to do whatever you want
Yeah.
to. If you vote yes, then you will approve the resolution. If you vote no, you disapprove the resolution.
Right.
So his motion's unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's the intent behind consideration.
Yeah. Thank you, Cy, for the motion, but it's really not necessary. What we're going to do is vote on the resolution in one form or another, because we did that earlier. So it is before the body. With them taking no action, we're going to do what the body says. Mic number 3.
Joey Sebastian,
Yep.
branch 386, Florida.
Wait, hold on, mic 3. Mic number 9, you want a clarification?
Chairman, I'll speak after Jerry. I don't mind.
Mic number 3.
I don't think so. Call for the question.
Sorry, Jerry's voice was louder than yours for the first time. This is called for the question. All those in favor of calling for the question, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Question been called for. All those in favor of resolution number 71? No. All those in favor of resolution 71, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. From the chair's point of view, the nays have it. We're going to call for division. All those in favor of the resolution, please stand. All those in favor of the resolution. Mic number 6.
Richard Green, Capital Atlantic area. Shouldn't we be voting on the committee's recommendation, not in favor of the resolution?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me try to clarify if I can, please. You give the committee each resolution that is submitted, and the committee is asked to make a recommendation either to approve or not to approve, to concur or not to concur. In this case, the committee has no recommendation whatsoever, so they're leaving it up totally 100% to the will of the delegates. If you now vote yes, then you are saying you want this resolution adopted. If you vote no, you're saying you do not want to adopt the resolution. There is no committee recommendation for you either to concur or not concur with. It is 100% in your hands to decide, independent of any committee recommendation. Is that clear?
We're at the point of division. All those in favor of resolution number 71, please stand. Brian. I need help. Thank you. Go ahead and sit down. All those against the resolution number 71, please stand. From the chair, the resolutions fail. Get ready to pull out your card again. Mic number 7.
Mr. Chairman, from where I'm sitting, it didn't look that way. Therefore, delegate cards. Luther Manuel, Branch 548. Call for a count.
Count has been called for. Please get your delegate cards available. Make them available. Mic number 2.
Thank you. Kathy Kloss, Branch 16, Minneapolis. When we previously took a count, people were going in and out of the doors, and I'd like to ask that we can secure the doors.
Yes, thank you. Is there a way we can lock the doors because the sergeant at arms are going to be counting? They are? Mic number 6.
Paul Foley, Branch 120, Southeastern Massachusetts. Folks, think about this resolution. I know this isn't a venue where anything is going to happen with this resolution. You know what I'm saying?
Paul, you're out of order right now. No more discussion. We're taking a vote. The question's been called for.
Thanks, Jerry.
And we're taking a vote. Sorry about that, Paul, but mic number 7.
Joe Burke, Branch 124. Point of clarification. If it's written somewhere that we don't do these kind of votes here, like a resolution, why wasn't it sent back to the branch and told them that we don't take it there?
This is the opportunity for the body to at least hear what we're going to talk about at Pay Talks or get feedback from them. So it was instructed 3 conventions ago that we would bring the pay issues to the body.
Is this the proper forum, though, is what I'm asking?
Well, it is. It's the only forum we're going to have to listen to the body. Mic number 9.
Yes, Beverly Jeffers again from Branch 157, Greensboro. And again, I don't know if this is the right format, but in the resolutions, you had about 2 or 3 additional resolutions that had no action, that had the same type of issues about pay. So if we are addressing this issue now, which pertains to pay, what happens to the other ones that we had no action on?
The others we're going to have in our Pay Talks.
Okay, so the others, this one we'll talk about, but the others, no action on those, even though they're the same issue.
74 and 75, the other 2 are the same thing. We're on 71 right now, but we're going to take them to Pay Talks.
Okay. Well, I don't really understand that, but. Okay.
Thank you. No, this is the time to get it clarified. Okay, now we're back to the count. Mic 3.
Mr. Chairman, Ken Bunch, Detroit Branch 23. I rise to a point of clarification. When the committee makes a recommendation of no action, is the committee telling the body that it's not going to take any action or the body can't take any action?
What the committee is saying that they were deferring to the body to take action.
Therefore, solely by a committee's recommendation of no action does not mean, for our first timers, does not mean that the committee is telling the body that you cannot discuss this. Is that accurate?
Right, the committee doesn't have that authority.
Thank you.
Okay, we're ready for the count. Doors are secured. All those, we're still on resolution 71. All those in favor of resolution 71, please stand. That we are counting. You need your delegate cards. Y'all need to help them count. We'll put the banquet off until 10 o'clock tonight.
It'll melt
melts.
by then.
See, that's what I said. I would.
No, just let it alone. That's why we're going so fast. But I do. Why keep the discussion? Really think about it. The post office give it to us fine. If they don't, nobody agrees. It's killed it. We worked on Wednesday because of that.
Can you imagine how many resolutions you have if you entertain taking these from every branch in this country?
And next time we're gonna just
That's the problem.
we're gonna publicize all pay issues can be sent to us and we'll discuss them.
I remember that was done before. I remember you did it before. But I mean,
It's not in writing, but it's, you know, so that's what somebody asked. Where does it say?
Motion made next to mention that we don't entertain in the paper.
Well, maybe you need a resolution. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds silly, but maybe that's the way to do it.
For individual pay upgrades.
Yep.
I think we're.
See, the problem with the opinion is we don't agree with it.
No, we agree with that. That's one of the
They're
reasons I
thinking.
said that.
No, they think that we don't want them.
No.
It just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't come out of my mouth.
All those been counted that's in favor of Resolution 71. They have been counted, reported to the secretaries as of now. One more. All those against Resolution 71, please stand with your delegate card in hand. It fails. It fails.
Last one was the longest. It took an hour and 40. I ran into that. They took an hour and 40. You can't tell her last name. Her name is Sarah. The girl was into Forest from Oregon. Real short.
Yeah.
I talked to her for about an hour. You know more than one time. She won't fit. Anyway.
We have respect.
I thought I was real abrasive.
Yes.
Presentation.
She didn't take it down at all.
Sure. Good. Good.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you. That list right there has got all of them. And I'm checking them out. See the number? And I got a check mark next to it. Check mark shows they're done. And we're on this one right now. So as we go down, these are the ones. This is all that's left right
All
here.
of these were no shows.
No, just this one.
Just that
I just
one?
gave myself some notes just so that I would know what I'm
gave
talking
some,
about.
I missed.
I'm going to do number 72, and then you can have it after that. And then after that, your first one will be number 74. And you'll be right back to this one.
Yep.
I'm going to stay here till about 11:45. And I'm out of here after that.
I know. What time is it now? Yeah, I know.
Which one? 71? No, he didn't, but then he did. It was that heavy set guy, pink shirt right there. Remember, he didn't show up, then he did. But I see, I got him as a no-show too. He showed up, he came later. soon as we walk in, we're walking out. They're going to put us out. I also ran into being a dirt party.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, boy. You talk about an experience.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in talk.
Yes,
Jeez.
you can.
After a couple minutes, it sounds like she's talking in circles.
Is this convention over with yet?
I don't think so.
No, not quite.
I
Not
will
quite.
sleep tomorrow morning.
You'll sleep
I
good.
think
tomorrow.
good.
You'll sleep good.
I gotta get on a plane early, but then I'll sleep on the plane home.
I'm staying till Monday just because of that. You stay late and then you got me.
You gotta relax, man. You gotta relax. Yeah.
Yeah, I originally was gonna come out earlier, and then when I switched jobs, I didn't want to take more time off, you know?
You party more than anybody I know.
I know.
I don't know anybody that parties as much as you, and I mean that.
I need to be back in Chicago on Sunday. So.
I do. I have to be back in Detroit.
Yeah, I need to be back in Chicago.
Well, not Detroit, but more. I live in Northfall, but that's suburban Detroit.
Yeah, I'm in suburban. And the price on this flight, if I remember correctly, was also cheaper than the one.
The count is those for Resolution 71, 419, against Resolution 71, 398. Resolution 4 is adopted. Bernie?
71.
Okay, that takes us to Resolution 72.
Lou? Louis. Hey, Louis, you got a delegate at Mike 4. Hold on.
We had the numbers reversed. The for is 398, against was 419. Resolution 71 fails.
Okay, resolution number 72.
Delegate at number 4. Delegate at number 4.
Al Bonberger, Branch 103, San Antonio. Point of personal privilege. I have 2 tickets to the auxiliary luncheon for sale if anybody's interested. Thank you.
Delegate at Mike 8.
Steve Gerber, Branch 139, and past member of the Executive Board. I have a point of order. According to the instructions from the parliamentarian on this last vote, I want to refer back to an issue that we discussed earlier this week. 2012, a resolution was passed that directed you to put together a committee to look at restructuring for this organization. That committee came back with a decision of no action. With that in mind and the ruling from the parliamentarian, we now should have an opportunity as a body that directed them through that resolution in 2012 to discuss and make resolutions for the restructuring of this organization.
I understand and appreciate the delegates' comments, but I think you're mixing apples and oranges. We have 2 different processes in place. One is the resolution process, which we're going through right now and you guys divide them up between bylaws, constitution, and the resolution process. The other one is an action that the board was directed to take in 2012, and those are two different processes. Of course, the body, as the delegation, would have the right to consider any other resolution they want to, as long as they follow your process and your rules to do so. And so you directed in 2012 the board to do something. They came back and reported to you that they had taken no action on that particular issue. If you wanted to respond to that, you would have to do that through the normal process of making resolutions and making motions. But certainly you would have had the right to do that.
I beg to differ, because that committee was formed at the direction of the resolution. Therefore, it's a committee as one of these other committees are. Therefore, with that committee not making any action, then the body should have an opportunity to act on that resolution.
And again, I understand, and your point is well taken. However, the action that the board took was to make no recommendation whatsoever to change.
No, there was no action.
Which means there was no recommendation either. And the body has the right to respond to that following the process that this body has in place. And so if somebody wanted to make a resolution and go through the process of doing so, then certainly they would have the right to do so.
So we should have been given that opportunity then when the committee deferred to no action.
Of course.
And that option was not given to us.
Well, the option exists within the rules of parliamentary procedure. And so I don't know what more, I don't know what you're asking for.
Well, it's a little late now because the Constitution and bylaws issue is
That's correct.
Is done and over with.
That's
and
correct.
we have an election in place.
That's correct.
But the reality is we should have had an opportunity prior to that occurring to take some action to restructure this organization, because the committee failed to do so and came with no action.
And you do have that
We
option.
did not have that.
Okay. Again, the parliamentary process that is in place for this delegation, and I think most of you are aware of it, allows the delegates to present resolutions through the process and through the rules that you folks have in place. It's your responsibility to know what the rules are, to know what the process is, and no one's trying to hide. I certainly am not trying to hide anything from you and have no desire whatsoever to deprive you of the rights and the privileges that are afforded to you by the rules and the Constitution and the bylaws of this organization. And so, as a parliamentarian for this organization, I apologize on behalf of the organization that you were not aware that that option was available to you. Other people certainly are aware the option is available to them because they did present resolutions to the board for consideration by this body, some of which you'll be considering in a little while.
We came to this convention with the understanding that the committee was going to make those resolutions. That's what the resolution asked for. Therefore, we didn't come with resolutions to make a restructuring option, because given the committee's mandate to do so, we would have had an opportunity to amend or change those resolutions that they were supposed to bring. Therefore, we didn't bring resolutions because the job was already supposed to have been taken care of by the committee, which they failed to do.
Thank you, Steve. Mic number 4.
Sam Morse, Branch 73, New Orleans. If he sat down, I'm done, because I was just going to tell you it was beginning to sound like an argument versus a convention.
Yes. Okay. Mic number 6.
Ron Cole, Ranch 183. The delegate that just spoke is absolutely correct. He was told that he could not submit anything, he could not do anything, and now we've taken action in basically the same manner. He is absolutely correct. The option was not given to this body to make a decision on that no action that committee took. It doesn't matter if we knew we could submit resolutions. We were not given that option at this venue to decide on the no action of that committee. that was not put on the table. He was basically told to sit down and be quiet.
No, thank you. Thank you. Mic number 3.
Chairman Ken Bunch, Detroit Branch 23. I rise to a point of information and clarification. Mr. Chairman, I think the issue is whether or not, well, for one, we don't have the 2012 resolution in front of us. Because the question would be, was that resolution intended to direct the executive board to come back with a recommendation, or did it direct the executive board to restructure itself? We're not sure what that was at this point. And I don't think the resolution, if I recall correctly, I was at the 2012 convention, the resolution did not direct the executive board to restructure itself. The resolution directed the executive board to formulate a committee to consider that issue. And it did that. And it came back with no changes. That's what it did.
Thank you, Ken. Anybody at the mic? Bernie?
Okay, resolution number 72. Resolved that no political campaign materials be allowed in the Postal Supervisor magazine. The initial recommendation was for non-concurrence, and after meeting with the objector, the committee's recommendation is reaffirmed, non-concurrence.
The committee recommendations for non-concurrence. Is there any discussion? Mic number 7.
Mr. Chairman, I speak against the committee's Luther Emanuel, Branch 548. I speak against the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence. You're saying you don't want any political articles in the Postal Supervisor, but you're sitting here collecting all this SPAC money. If you're collecting all this SPAC money, who's it going to? Political people. So if you've decided that you want to give these political people money, then why aren't we allowing their articles to be printed in that same newspaper which we're paying them SPAC money to represent? So I would speak against the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence.
Luther, the way it appears you were speaking in favor of the committee recommendation. Mic 3, are you in favor or against?
I'm against the committee's recommendation.
Okay.
My name is Sean O'Sullivan, Branch 353. We submitted this resolution, and the reason we did so is that folks running for office within NAPS have now started running political ads for their campaigns. For their campaigns, that is a political ad for their campaign within NAPS. The reason we submitted this is that we felt, as a branch, that it was getting out of hand. There's nothing wrong with people submitting their articles to the Postal Supervisor and putting out that information, but when you're buying ad space within the Postal Supervisor for national office, for area office, regional office, not everybody has the funds to be able to do that. It just diminishes the Postal Supervisor, in my opinion. And that's not right. Put stuff that's relevant to our day-to-day jobs in there and what's going on within the organization, but keep the political ads for campaigning out of it.
Mic number 4.
My name is Sam Morse, Branch 73, New Orleans. I'm actually
For or against?
I'm for the resolution.
For the
I'm sorry, I'm for concurrence, for the non-concurrence. I'm in support of the non-concurrence. I'm sorry. And the reason being is that earlier we spoke about the postal supervisor, the cost of it, and et cetera, et cetera. It's also a question to the body. Are these political campaign materials purchased as an ad, or are they allowed to put it in just as I would submit an article for my branch? If it's paid for, then it's income for the magazine. If it's not paid for, then it's a political speech that is limited in its scope because
It's paid for, Sam.
So if it's paid for, it's just like any other advertisement. I would be in favor of this non-concurrence and allow it to happen. If you can't afford it, I can't afford to run for president of the United States. Does that mean that I should be able to do it anyway? No. Thank you.
Mic number 10.
Hi, good afternoon again,
Are you
Cynthia
in favor
Shepton.
or against?
I am in favor of concurrence. I'd like to submit to the body.
Are you in
that-
favor of committee recommendation of
No, I'm
non-concurrence?
not. I'm sorry. I'd like to submit to the body that if we're trying to engage the political arena and you say no political, that's going to encompass both postal and political, because I think this is an excellent venue for politicians. It's another way for us to speak with them if they're allowed to advertise in our magazine. So I'd like to recommend maybe concurrence with an amendment to change it if people disagree with postal employees. Thank you.
Which one?
Mic number 6.
My name is Tim Ford, a member of the Executive Board. I'm going to speak against the committee's recommendation. Every single person in here, as a supervisor or postmaster, you have craft employees working for you. Whether it's APW members, NALC members, rural, it doesn't matter. If there's a battle with the union going on and you all know about it, every one of you takes advantage of it in your office. You know it, and I know it. Whether you realize it, Postal Headquarters has a subscription to the Postal Supervisor, which means they see us airing dirty laundry, and if you don't think they take advantage of it, you're dead wrong. I'm against the committee's recommendation of non-concurrence.
Mic number 1.
Kevin Traer, Michiana Area Vice President and a member of the Executive Board, and I'm in favor of the committee's recommendation for non-concurrence. I don't know if you've all seen it, but we've had several national elections going on here for the resident officers, and this can run anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 to run for this organization. Why would we deny our people access to every avenue to reach every member of this organization? I would even go so far as to saying any legitimate candidate that has made an announcement should also have access to put a link onto our website within rules. Okay, we're getting revenue off of that, so it costs about $1,100 a page. Can you imagine what it would cost to constantly do things across this country to try to reach every member? That magazine goes to every member. It's not political. They make it sound like it's garbage we're putting in there. They were tasteful ads about their position. They didn't put any trash talk about each other in there. And that's why I think we should support the committee's recommendation for non-concurrence. Thank you.
Mic number 4.
Bob Bradford from the state of Texas, where my wife and my dog lives. And they're not Republicans either. I call for the question.
The question has been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question, please say aye. All opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Question being called for. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. The committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted.
two. These are the two pay
Either
ones.
north and once you get past these, it's
All right. Mike 1.
Ray Elliott, Branch 289, personal information. Dealing with
It's already been voted on, so what information you need?
Well, it was misquoted on that resolution 26 from 2012. The resolution stated that the committee submit resolution to the 2014 National Convention, which was nothing done. In other words, no action was taken. So that left it back open to the floor to vote upon.
Thank you for the comments. Mike, number 7.
Manual, New Jersey. During the previous resolution, I have to humbly submit that I was not paying attention. One of the delegates from my branch called me to the fact that I had it wrong, that I was speaking opposite of what I wanted to say. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is this. You can't be afraid to make a mistake. This is what we have to be. You can't be afraid. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. And let's move on.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Resolution 74, resolved that all EAS 17 supervisor support services positions be upgraded to EAS level 18. The committee reaffirmed their decision to take no action.
Here we go, again.
Delegate Mike 3.
Hey, Louie, let me get here quicker. Bobby Bach, Branch 321. I rise that we concur on this resolution. We're on number 74. Like I talked about earlier, you have in Suncoast we have the pool master. They're a postmaster of an area, and then they have these associate officers and cause additional work. And also there's been a lot more workload put on the operations support staff, support services staff, and we're looking to give our people a wage for the work they're doing. So I would hope that the body would look at this resolution and make a fair decision for an upgrade for this job that they're overburdened. They do a tremendous amount of work. And I hope that we will concur with a resolution on this committee. Thank you.
Delegate Mike 4.
Al Bonneberger, Branch 103, San Antonio. It doesn't matter what you put about upgrades. When they take it to headquarters, everybody knows headquarters says pay talks. So it doesn't really matter here, people. We're just wasting time on them.
Delegate Mike 5.
Jeff Christofoli, Branch 36, Kansas City, Missouri. I'm against this resolution, and the reason I'm against this resolution is that if you're going to move support people from 17 to 18s, then you're going to have to move field supervisors from 17s to 18s.
Thank you. Mike number 6. Delegate 6.
Jerry Sebastian, Southeast Area Vice President. Be careful what you wish for. Remember, 17s are special exempt. You still get tea time for those of you that get tea time. You go to an 18, you're exempt. You don't get paid. Okay?
It's 19 and above, Jerry. Mike number 4.
Neil Baker, Branch 104. This is exactly why 4 conventions ago, 3 conventions ago, I don't know which one, but we decided that there would not be any upgrade resolution requests put in a resolution form on the floor. Once you allow these 3 to be put in, next time you're going to have 33. And there is no way to really, I'm not against anybody getting a raise, but there's no way to discuss these. That's one reason why you have the free day. Give up your free day and bring in every upgrade that your branch submits to you. The other thing is on the upgrades, there's a process for them to be submitted. You just don't take them to the consultative table and say, we want an upgrade for the level 12s to 15. There's a process. You have to establish why the upgrade is necessary, what the additional work is, and there's a process to take that to postal headquarters. At the last pay talks, maybe not this last one before, Tony Vigilante said, there are no upgrades going to be discussed at pay talks. We will take them in the normal process of getting upgrades approved. The other thing I don't like about taking upgrades to pay talks, post office gives you something, they're going to take something back. They're not going to give it to you all. So you want all your upgrades at the pay talks? Then forget getting your raise. This is not the place we agreed before to discuss upgrades. I'm in favor of everybody that deserves one, but let's not spend a whole day discussing them.
Mike number 6.
William Rodriguez, branch 146 from Florida, where we were taught how to count hanging chads by a Republican who we sent back to Texas. I call for the question.
The question has been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Nay. Nays have it. Resolution failed.
Resolution 75. Resolved that all EAS 16 process control assistant positions be upgraded to EAS level 17. The committee confirmed its decision to take no action.
There we go. Mike 3.
Delegate in Mike 3.
Bobby Bach, branch 321. We brought this resolution up at the Florida State Convention, and we had one of our members who's in EAS 16 control assistant position. There's a lot more additional duties that have been put on him, where the post office is being meaner and a lot meaner lately. All right. Now the question is, for the body, when the post office decides to do away with somebody's job, this is a level 16. And if he gets ripped, there's no jobs for him. He's got to compete competitively. If he get an upgrade to a level 17, at least if he gets ripped, the job goes away. He can lateral into a 17 as a supervisor, a lot easier. And I would hope that the body would reconsider and let's vote for this resolution. Let's protect our members. Thank you. You want me to call for the question now?
No, just for information's sake, Chapter 2 tells you about upgrades in L. Chapter 2 tells you the process that Neil was referring to earlier. Okay. Seeing no one at the mic. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Nay. Resolution fails.
Resolution 76, I'll read the resolved as amended. That the USPS and NAPS consult on a staffing proposal that will provide guidelines for increased EAS staffing rotations to ensure weekend delivery coverage for the Sunday parcel delivery pilot program. And be it further resolved that NAPS not only consult on a permanent staffing solution with the USPS, but also includes a proposal to post relief supervisor positions to rotate into 7-day delivery units to ensure that line supervisors receive their scheduled days off. The committee's recommendation, the committee reaffirmed their recommendation for concurrence as amended.
The committee recommendation is concurrence as amended. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Seeing no one approach the mic, all those in favor of the committee recommendation for concurrence as amended, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Committee recommendation for concurrence as amended is adopted.
Resolution 79. Resolved that review committees for all EAS 18 and above positions be established in a postal area other than that of the posted position, and be it further resolved that applications for all EAS and above positions be submitted to the review committee without names, but with identifying numbers known only to the shared services, and be it finally resolved that postal areas be required to establish these review committees for this specific purpose. The committee reaffirmed their recommendation for concurrence.
The committee's recommendations for concurrence. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Seeing no one approaches the mic, all those in favor of the committee recommendation of concurrence say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Committee recommendation of concurrence is adopted.
Resolution number 80, resolved that a separate and independent Ethics Committee be created to review and investigate all code of conduct allegations and other ethical allegations made towards any NAPS Executive Board members, and be it further resolved that a penalty table similar to those used by other organizations be created and posted, along with ethical guidelines on the NAPS website, and finally, be it resolved that there be an appeals process for all parties involved. The committee reaffirmed non-concurrence.
The committee recommendations for non-concurrence. Is there any discussion? Mic number 4.
Thank you. Mary Burkhardt, Branch 244. This resolution wasn't a slam on anyone. I want to explain the spirit and intent. Ethics is the cornerstone of every organization and every corporation. And we should also follow in that spirit. Mr. Gray, on Monday, he was also talking about ethics, and he was talking about the need for consequences. So if you don't have consequences, then you're really condoning activity, and it's going to continue. And not only that, but you ruin everybody else's perception, because perception is reality. So if you have ethical boundaries and you actually have consequences, I don't understand why anyone would fear that, because we're expecting people to be ethical, to follow our code of conduct. But right now, we have nothing in our Constitution and bylaws, nothing anywhere, and that also comes from you, Louis, because we have had these discussions that there isn't any means to do anything to anyone. And we also have a hen over the chicken situation, where we have the same people that they're not going to hurt someone on their team. I understand it. So what is it we're going to do? When I talked to Tony on Monday, the president of NAPIS, I was asking him about what they do about ethics. And they do something similar to what I put in here as a reasonable way of getting out of this, where you just independently pick people, you have people that volunteer. He said that what he does is he gets to pick 2, and then 2 come randomly out of people that are on a board. So there's many different ways. I leave it up to the board to do, and if we don't pass this, it's something to think about, because we want to make sure our reputation is stellar. We have a great organization, and we need to get new members, we need credibility, and you don't need any negative perceptions. So thank you for at least considering this.
Thank you, Mayor. Mike, number 7.
John Farrell, Branch 53. Mr. Chairman,
Are you speaking in favor or against?
I'm speaking in favor of the committee's recommendation for non-concurrence.
Thank you.
The delegates, when they come here, they have a right to know what they are voting on. And this resolution really doesn't explain itself sufficiently. It talks about a penalty table, but there's no penalty table that's in front of us right now that we can take a look at. It talks about that penalty table be created, but it doesn't say by who. And I'm also wondering if the terms that are used in this resolution, wouldn't they dictate that something be included in our Constitution and bylaws about disciplinary actions? Would that be a necessary ingredient of this resolution? And that question is for the parliamentarian, I guess.
I'm not quite certain why the parliamentarian, it may be, if that was inserted, it could be a Constitution and bylaws inserted if there were disciplinary action. But that would be based upon the resolution that would come forward explaining some of the things that you mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
Mike, number 4.
Jeff Crisafulli, Branch 36, call for the question.
Question has been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have the question been called for. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. The committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted.
Resolution 82. Initially, the committee recommended non-concurrence. We met with the objector, reconsidered the resolution, and amended it thusly. At line 29, we deleted the word "be pro" and at 11, "vited." We replaced that with the word "requesting," and at line 35, we deleted the period and added the words "be provided one," so that the amended resolution now reads that all delegates requesting a detailed receipt for all NAPS national conventions and the legislative training seminar registrations be provided. 1. The committee's recommendation is for concurrence as amended.
The committee recommendations for concurrence as amended. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Seeing no one approach the mic, all those in favor of the committee recommendation of concurrence as amended, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Committee recommendation of concurrence as amended is adopted.
Resolution 83. Resolved that NAP's headquarters stops the practice immediately of charging fees for online registrations. The committee's recommendation is for concurrence as amended. Oh, I didn't have it. Yeah. Okay. Let me back up a little bit. We met with the objector. That's what I thought. Right. All right. Let me read it again. I thought I read it as it was amended the first time. The resolve is that NAP's headquarters stops the practice immediately.
Nancy, it was already concurred as amended, so just read what we amended and then say we met with the objector and we reaffirm. And that's the amendment. The way you said it exactly right. You read it off the first time, just right.
It seems that I read it the first time right. Let me read the resolve again. This is the resolve as amended. That NAP's headquarters stops the practice immediately of charging fees. Oh.
Read mine.
Okay,
So
I deleted it.
Yeah? She said she got it.
All right. At line 68, I should have deleted the word immediately. So now the amended resolve reads that NAP's headquarters stops the practice of charging fees for online registrations. The committees reaffirm their recommendations for concurrence as amended.
The committee recommendation is for concurrence as amended. Is there any discussion? Mic number 4.
Reggie Quintero, Branch 103, San Antonio, Texas. We talk about saving the organization money. In order to charge something, they charge you for it, or they'll charge the organization. Why are we trying to get a free ride? Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Is there any further discussion? Mic number 6.
Antonio Cuevas, point of information, Branch 183, Branch 299, Branch 936. Does NAPS gather any revenue from that $10 registration surcharge?
I'll let Brian address it, but it is a few pennies we do gather. But we do receive a charge for every
I understand
online
there's a fee for any transaction. I'm just trying to find out if we get anything out of that cut.
Yeah, what we do with the registration is for example, we charge an additional $10. Depending on the credit card you use, sometimes they'll charge us anywhere from 3 to 5% for the registration fee. So it can run from $7.50 or $5.60. So in trying to guess what it would be, most of the time $5 wouldn't cover it. $10 is a little too much. So putting in a registration of $198 instead of $200. That's just kind of a base. We may get a few dollars on that, But and then what happens is we haven't done it to, if you were to request a refund, we give you a refund for the whole money. We don't deduct that. So if there was a refund.
So do we have, are we tracking that as what revenue was generated because of that?
What would happen is this. We track the revenue that comes in for this convention, total.
Okay.
All right? It just okay.
Thank you, Brian. Is there any further discussion? Is there any further discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing no one approach the mic, all those in favor of the committee recommendation as amended, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Pretty close. So, all those in favor of the committee recommendation of concurrence as amended, please stand. Okay. All those opposed to the committee recommendation of concurrence as amended, please stand. The committee recommendation fails. Committee recommendation of concurrence as amended fails.
Resolution 90, resolve that NAP's headquarters immediately terminates the current NAP's policy of leasing or purchasing a vehicle in the name of NAP's and/or any resident officer, and be it further resolved that the NAP's president submits for reimbursements such for any other resident officer and executive board member miles driven for official NAP's business when using their personal vehicle, and that the reimbursement be in accordance with current IRS rules. The committee reaffirm their recommendation for non-concurrence.
The committee recommendations was non-concurrence. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Seeing no one approach the mic. Mic 5.
Dale Kohler, Branch 956, Wisconsin. For several years now, we've been talking about and reading articles about the declining membership of the organization and therefore the declining income and what can we do to eliminate expenses. This is one expense, if eliminated, would not impact the basic mission of NAPS. This is an expense that, if eliminated, would not impact the availability or the quality of representation available from the National Executive Board. This is an expense that is more of a perk and they're not necessary for the core function of NAPS. Thanks.
Is there any more discussion? Delegate at mic number 7.
Angela Garland, Delaware, Branch 909. If we're going to talk about eliminating a perk, let's talk about the perks and decide what we want to eliminate rather than attack pieces of perks that the president gets.
Mic number 4.
Al Bonenberger, Branch 103, San Antonio. Anytime they bring anything up to cut down expenses, we don't want to consider it. So think about this, members.
Mic number 3.
Bobby Bach, Branch 321, call for the question.
All those in favor of calling for the question, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Question called for. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted.
93, 93.
Somebody's up.
Mic number 5.
Don Hanson, Branch 66, Portland, Oregon. I call for division.
Division has been called for. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. All those against the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please stand. The committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted.
Resolution 93. Resolved that effective January 1st, 2015, individuals' back contributions be limited to $100 per month, $1,200 per year, and be it further resolved that for individual SPAC contributors who still desire to contribute more than $100 a month, NAP's headquarters should check into the feasibility and legality of them contributing to SPAC as a branch group. The committee reaffirmed their recommendation for non-concurrence.
The committee recommendation is non-concurrence. Is there any discussion? Delegate at Mic 1.
Good morning, Paul Pickert, Iowa
morning.
State NAPS 918 Secretary Treasurer. I wrote this resolution to stimulate more participation of SPAC contributors. To date, it's just those very few that want to give the most. 98% of the membership does not give to SPAC in any way, shape, or form. This is an encouragement to get the other 98% to become more active in giving to SPAC. And if they realize that a very few give the most, they never will contribute. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Mic number 3.
Patty Lynn, Branch 296, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I totally support the non-concurrence. We beg people to contribute to SPAC, $5, $1, whatever, and it's not working. Limiting it will just mean that those who contribute a lot will not be able to contribute as much. I am against this.
Thank you, Patty. Mic number 5.
Bob Bradford, Branch 203, Texas. I ran out of things to say, so I'll call for the question.
The question's been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Question been called for. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. The committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted.
Resolution 95, resolved that LTS be held only in odd-numbered years beginning in calendar year 2015 and not in the same year as NAP's state, area, and national conventions. The committee reaffirmed non-concurrence.
the committee recommendations for non-concurrence. Is there any discussion? Mike 1.
Paul Pickert, Iowa State Branch 918. One of the three key words we've heard at this convention, Louis, was restructure, save, and recoup monies spent. Postmaster General Donahue spoke to us the other day and says he does not see any support coming from Congress. There's been no support for the last 3 or 4 years. Yet for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been LTS year after year after year. Originally, before 2000, LTS was held opposite a national convention to save expense when we had money and lots of members. Someone mentioned to me in the hallway the other day, oh, we have to get an update on legislative. We have to have updates on legislative. Well, we didn't have social media back before 2000 to get updates on legislative. And another organization I belong to, NARF, who is a composite made up of retired federal employees, they only meet for their LTS every other year. And it's more important for those looking for retirement to support the retirement funds and activities. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mike number 3.
Stanley Gold, Branch 146. I've been going to Washington on legislation since 1963 for the postal clerks, for the American Legion, for the Jewish War Veterans, for the Credit Union League, and for this organization since 1987. I vote for the non-concurrence. It is so important, and I can say for all the organizations I do go to, NAPS gives the best program. In 2002, just for your information, while at the NAPS, Ann Strickland and myself went to visit Carrie Meeks, and we presented our NAPS agenda. We ended the program the way we were thought to end it, by inviting the Congresswoman to our facility and asking the question, is there anything we can do for you? And she said, yes, you can do something for me. I have over a dozen letters this past week from the Customs Bureau, several from the Post Office, several from the Income Tax, Internal Revenue, that they had to use their annual leave for the hurricane. She said, is there anything we can do about it? I said, yes, you can. In 1966, when I was a clerk president, I presented before the House and the House Post Office Committee, Civil Service Committee, a resolution drawn up by my friend Congressman Clyde Pepper to allow postal employees and all federal employees to be paid for any time lost because of an act of God. It was passed by the committee, it was passed by the House, and before it went to the Senate, the Civil Service Commission accepted as a rule for all federal agencies to follow. And since 2002, there were very little complaints, but individual managers took it on their own. If the sun is out, there's no hurricane. The weather is good, there's no hurricane, the people can work, even though hours before the public information on the radio said, keep off the streets. And so she took that same 1966 resolution, put it into the transportation bill along with 125 other amendments to the Bridge of Nowhere, and was passed into law. And I like to have a show of hands. How many people get administrative leave when they cannot go to work because of a flood or a hurricane or other type of storms? In New York City and Washington, they closed the post offices for a couple of days during the snowstorm. They all got their pay because of this bill. So please consider not to vote for this, to vote for the non-concurrence. We need to go up there, and our most important benefits are gotten or not getting from members of Congress. And we got to keep our members well aware of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Delegate at mic number 2.
Hello. Lanita Pitch, Branch 14, former legislative rep for the Chicago branch. I am in favor of the committee's recommendation for non-concurrence because the legislators, they vote on different bills every year. I don't know if you all remember, we had H.R. 22. It had been massaged and modified and thrown around for about 10 years. You don't want to give the Congress a message that we don't need to come up here this year because we'll be there next year, because in the year that you might not go, that'll be a year they will pass something that will hurt us. So if it is difficult for some people to go, I understand you might not make it, but as a whole, I think we need to press on year after year after year to make sure our rights, our benefits are going to stay and be guaranteed. Not being there, you will not have that guarantee. Thank you.
We've heard the pros. Anyone that wants to speak con against the committee recommendation? Mic number 2.
Ronald Alexei from Branch 14, Chicago, Illinois. I got a little echo back here, so forgive me. My feelings with dealing with legislators is meet them on our turf. Go to their office in your city and town meetings. Go every other year, but get together, make deputy postal employees, get your neighbors and relatives, and go to their office and make your point and be prepared.
Thank you. Mic number 3. Mic number 3.
Tom O'Connor, Branch 97, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Branch President. I call for the question, please.
Thank you. Question's been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. All those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please say aye. All those against the committee recommendation, say nay. Ayes have it. Committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted.
Resolution 97, it is a handout of a resolution that was submitted by Iowa State Branch. And it reads thusly: resolved that beginning December 28, 2014, a quarterly written report due by March 28th, June 28th, September 28th, and December 28th of each calendar year be submitted by each state branch legislative chair to the NAP's National Vice President for his/her review as to what legislative action has been taken during that reporting period to include the negative reports, and be it further resolved that with the received quarterly state branch legislative reports, a summary report by NAP's National Vice President be considered for any emphasis and inclusion in the next LTS agenda to strengthen support for NAP's grassroots legislative efforts. The committee reaffirmed their recommendation for non-concurrence.
The committee recommendation was reaffirmed as non-concurrent. Mic number 1.
Again, Paul Pickard, Iowa State Branch 918. My hat's off to those state legislative chairs that remain active between each LTS and works your particular organization to be proactive with political actions. But I can say that the majority of those non-active state legislative chairs and those LTS delegates, once you come home from LTS, you plop in your favorite chair or recliner or whatever. You place your material in a dark place like a cabinet or a file cabinet or on top of a desk, whatever, and that's the last time you see or do anything with it until the next LTS. The National Executive Board, National Vice President, I don't believe knows what action is being done out in the field except what is supported through his staff, legislative office assistants, or Bruce Moyer. I was also informed that the state legislative chairs are not overburdened, and this gives them a communication tool to report back to national just what those inactive state legislative chairs do. Again, not all state legislative chairs are inactive, and I congratulate and salute those that are active, but there's far too many out there that are not. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mic number 4.
Ernest Hill, Branch 122, Houston, Texas. I'd like to take a minute. I'm not going to spare an hour. Iowa's got 4 congresspersons and 2 senators, but you got some heavy hitters. You got New York, California, Illinois, Florida, and Texas. Texas itself has 36 congresspersons and 2 senators. And if most of you know, Texas got the biggest chock full of nuts in Congress that there is. Okay, we're led by people like Ted Cruz, Louis Gohmert, John Cornyn. And Louis Gohmert is probably the most ignorant man in Congress. We have to deal with these people on a basis. I don't know about the other states, but I've been the Texas legislative chairperson for almost 20 years. I'm retired. And at our branch meetings, I have some good legislative people that are at our local branch meetings. They constantly bring up legislative issues, and they keep me informed. And I keep my Texas area VP informed. It is not something that we have to take lightly as the legislative chairs. I don't know about what they're doing in Iowa, but I can tell you what they're doing in Texas, and I can tell you what they're doing in California because they're always in the NAPS book. I can tell you about what they're doing in New York because they're always in the NAPS book. We work our cans off for this organization. We don't get any appreciation for it, but we do it because we want to do it because we love NAPS. So to sit up and say that we have to make these reports and stuff like that, I think that's unfair to us because some of us, even though we retire from the Postal Service, we have other jobs that we're working. But we take our time off to come here and we take our time to go to the legislative conference so that we can help NAPS and we can help the United States Postal Service. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. We do appreciate it. Delegate Mike number 3.
Patty Lynn, Branch 296, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am sorry that Iowa guy has a state legislative chair that isn't working. Our state legislative chair is. We go up there. We do anything we can while we're there. We go to meetings with our congresspeople all the time. And I have to argue with that guy from Texas because they don't call us Florida for nothing. We got some real winners in Florida, too. We do. I mean, let's face it. No, I mean, Marco Rubio, you know. We need to just change state legislative chairs in your own states if they're not doing the job. But this whole resolution just casts aspersions on those people who are, like Texas said, busting their fannies to get the job done for us, and they're doing a hell of a job. Thank you.
I second the motion.
Delegate Mike 5.
Bill Thompson, Branch 249, Secretary, Past President. I call for the question.
Thank you. question's been called for. All those in favor of calling for the question, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. All of those in favor of the committee recommendation of non-concurrence, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. The committee recommendation of non-concurrence is adopted. Now, at this time, I'd like to bring Brian Wagner for a few announcements right before lunch. The auxiliary lunch will be taking place in a few minutes. We're playing it close. And you're going to mention walkathon, too.
Okay, thanks, Louis. Thursday's 50-50 has been claimed. Oh, congratulations to our NAPS winner. I don't know who won. They didn't tell me. Wasn't me. Okay. I know there's a lot of first-timers out here. You went to the meeting, or the first-timers. Some of you came in late. We still have some first-timer pins. I have them. Those who are a first-timer and did not get your pin, come see me. We ordered enough to cover everybody, so if I run out, that means somebody got extra. Okay, we don't want... Okay, if you're a first-timer, come see me. Not while I'm eating, but come see me, all right? Now, let's see. The auxiliary has some fleece travel blankets with the NAPS logo. They are still for sale for $15. They are great as travel pillow, travel blanket, cushion while watching sporting events, car pillow, car blanket, branch door prizes. So see the auxiliary. They still have these blankets. Rudy at branch 274 in the Pioneer area has 4 dinner tickets for $80. He's sitting in the back row. It's a Pioneer area. Rudy from branch 274 has some banquet tickets tonight. See Rudy. Let's see. And there's a happy birthday wishes to Chris Shapolsky. Why do you do? Shapolsky, auxiliary member from New Jersey, and best wishes on her retirement in January. Congratulations, Chris. That's all I have right now, Mr. President.
I'd like to bring up Ms. Ann Strickland to announce the walkathon results.
Hi, Ann Strickland from Miami Branch 146. I would like to make a report on the 3rd biannual NAPS SPAC Walkathon. I also would like to thank everyone who purchased a t-shirt and to all my helpers, Patty Lynn, Carolyn Williams, Belinda Gilbert, Jennifer Quinlan, and Lorraine Jimenez. All t-shirts were paid for by our sponsor, Dillard Financial. Thank you so much, Dillard Financial, for your financial support. We had about 70 walkers who turned out for a nice walk around the hotel. There were many walkers who collected pledges. However, there were 2 outstanding individuals who went above and beyond in getting pledges, which all went towards our SPAC. So, drum roll. The first place winner for the most money collected at the 3rd biannual walkathon goes to Texas Bob Bradford from Branch 203, Texas. Bob collected $1,655. Come on up, Bob. Come on up. The second place winner goes to Deborah Kilbanoff from Branch 120, Massachusetts. Come on up, Deborah. Deborah collected $705. Thank you. So the grand total amount collected for this year's walkathon is a tad bit over $5,000. Elliot advised me that he's still inputting some of the credit card donations for the walkathon. So thank you, everyone who supported this year's walkathon. I really appreciate it, and so does SPAC.
Thank you, Ann, for your continuous work for the NAP SPAC. Thank you, Ann. Very good. Right now, we're going to go to lunch, but the ballot committee has been sequestered, and they won't be able to, so they'll probably finish by 1:30. But everybody needs to be back here at 1:30. Enjoy your lunch. 1:30, we'll begin the business session again.